Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Drop Frames. Going into the second half here of the show. Let's talk Days Gone. I don't have anything to say about this game. It's the one game that's like stumped me because I played it and I was like, all right. And then that's all I got from it. Like, I honestly can't criticize the game, but I can't praise the game. It exists. And that's the only thing I could really say about it. I was trying to like pinpoint anything that was super just revolting or super into it, and I couldn't. I sat there for I don't know how long I played it, 4 or 5 hours, and I was just like, yeah, it's a game. So I think you two will do the lion's share of the talking here. So because you both put quite a lot of hours into it, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, close to beating it, I think actually. Both of you. You're not at Alco? Okay. I know Zeke was potentially pushing towards beating it, right?
And that is a great segue into I still have, I believe it's still live. I still have a Twitch poll going. It's my pinned tweet. Looks like it's got 2 hours left. So at the end of Drop Frames, we'll see what you guys think. But whether I should finish the game or start a different game. And it's 2,400 votes. It's 53 to 47. It's so close. 53% say finish the game. And the only reason why I put the poll out, because inevitably people are going to be like, just play what makes you happy. That's the thing with Days Gone. It's like I'd be happy to continue playing the game. Apparently, like I'm at the point where the story like starts really ramping up, and that's bad after 20 plus hours. You know, that's not a good sign. But here's the thing: the story is good enough, and the characters and the environment and stuff are good enough to keep you going. Which I gotta say, which is more than I could say for Far Cry. Like Far Cry 5 was more fun to play co-op and fuck around and do dumb shit, but it had more options and that kind of thing. But as far as like wanting to play the actual story of it, and the reason why I compare it is because it's the most recent game that I played that has any like sort of similarity to this.
Yeah.
Semi-open world, travel around, do quests, side quests, all this kind of stuff. In a semi like Montana like environment. This is Oregon. So it's a little bit more wet with a little bit more trees and less mountains, but it's a very similar kind of a feeling to it, environment-wise. It's just a good game. It's not innovative, it's not spectacular, and it's not bad. There's no like glaring bad things about it. It's a solid like B minus. I would give it a C plus, but the voice acting is pretty good.
So Zeke, real quick, if you don't mind, as spoiler-free as possible, what are you doing in the main story right now?
What am I doing?
Yeah, he's wanting to know where you're at
I'm
in
just
the
curious,
story.
like what point you're up to.
Spoiler free as possible. Reiterate
yeah.
that.
You know your friend Boozer, right?
Yes.
Yes. I've just completed the quest entitled oh god, it's like help oh god, what is it? Give him a reason to live or something like that.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Are you past that point, Co? Are you around that point or no?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
How many hours have you got in there, Co?
I want to say around 20. I think I've been 20, but I've been kind of like focusing main story a little bit, so I may be just a little bit ahead. Yeah. Also, I'm starting to fast travel and stuff more, which is super useful. So.
Oh yeah, me too. And that's kind of the other thing. In order to fast travel, you have to clear out nests in certain areas to open up fast travel areas. So you do have to, if you want to fast travel, you have to kind of clean out, like, see those red like squares, red diamond shapes on the map there.
Yeah.
You clear those out, and they open up fast travel locations. So if you want to move around the game quicker, it behooves you to do that. And thankfully, if you can finagle it right, you can clear out like a group of nests fairly quickly because you don't have to really like stick around. because it's one of the first things you learn. You burn out the nest, run to the next nest, burn that one out, and once all three of them are done, you can. That's one of the things that makes this game like quality of life. Things that makes this game playable is that once you complete something, you can just die, and all of the things go away, and you can start, and they remain completed. Like I go to the nest, I burn out all three. Sure. Once it says the nests have been burnt out, I can just die and respawn, and all the zombies are gone, and the nests are cleared.
Let me ask you this,
though, the loading times. Like even for PS4 Pro,
they were a little bad.
Get a little fucky.
The first load, in particular, at least for me, was very long.
Yeah, when you start the game up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like over 2 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you guys this though. Zeke, you talked about you can just die and it'll reset that stuff. I didn't particularly find the game difficult. Like there was.
You play on hard?
I think it. No, I didn't specifically because everyone in chat was like play on normal. Is it because I was not playing on hard? Hard is hard?
Yes.
Okay.
Hard is hard. From what I understand, like with zombie hordes, essentially, if you get near a zombie horde on hard and they hit you, you will stumble, and that's all it takes for the rest to kill you. Like it's from what I understand, it's much more difficult on hard.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. If you get in a zombie horde situation and you can't lead them, like your stamina doesn't last long enough to lead them far enough away so you can actually hop on your bike and ride away. You're dead. Kind of fucked. If your stamina's out with the zombie horde, you're dead. Which I dig. I totally dig.
The other thing is the reason they told me not to play on hard, now that I'm recalling, because you guys mentioned that, is that everything felt a little bullet spongy, and like they just added HP, and that is one of the bigger bumps to hard. Like that's what clarifies what hard is. Would you guys agree with that, or you have no idea because you haven't played?
I don't know. Zeke, you're playing hard, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't know. Yes, I'm definitely playing hard, but I'm doing melee build. So I put all of my points in melee, and let me tell you, once you get up to a certain level, like you're crushing heads left and right, and it's fucking great. You still can't take on a horde or anything like that with a melee weapon. You have to, either run away or use bombs or big weapons. But so I've never killed an entire horde yet, which is it is possible, but with my build, it's definitely I put points in sneaking and melee. So as far as bullet spongy, I wouldn't know because you can sneak up on almost anything and kill it one shot if you put the points in the right categories. And also like if you get like, I would say I could probably easily take on 4. 5 gets a little bit more difficult, and 6 I would definitely run from. But like 4 to 5, I can whack them. And the good thing is you can whack one and then change targets and whack another one and keep them like whacked off.
Nice. I like it.
I had to say it.
Yeah. No, I knew where you were going.
Never forgive me.
It's true. That's true.
So I went melee build, so I'm not using a lot of bullets, and that kind of takes a little bit more time, but it also gets you survivability when you are like zombies or whatever come out of the woodwork and you don't like surprise you or whatever.
Okay. I want some more clarification here because I'm curious because I spent 3 or 4 hours with it, which seems like not that much. I was informed that the gunplay gets better as you spec into it. Is that accurate? Like
just focus. Like just the very first skill completely changes gunplay if you take it.
Okay, I did get that. Yeah, I do remember getting that. I just remember it being... It just didn't feel that great, but it didn't feel like it was outright bad. It just didn't feel like it was the greatest gunplay. And chat was... The excuse that I was being given was like, oh, well, you're not a badass person that uses a gun, so that's why you're not a badass person that uses a gun. I understand that. Like, you're not a trained gunman.
You were in a gang, and you did go to war and fight in Afghanistan.
Okay,
so
see, I didn't know that. So
be able to use a gun, it's this guy.
Okay, then yeah, chat was wrong. I got to stop taking opinions from chat.
This dude was a soldier. He's
okay, I did not.
Biker gang guy.
Gotcha. Was not aware. Well, what did you think of the game, Co? Because Zeke kind of gave his thoughts a little bit.
All right, here's here's the thing. And when you said 4 to 5 hours, I don't know if you noticed, I got a big smile. Because here's the thing. Day 2 of this game in hour 6, I just completed a main story mission. I have been complaining about the game for an hour now. I am talking about how there's no direction. I don't know what to do. I open up my main quest log. I don't have a single main quest. And I'm sitting here going, I don't want to do side stuff. This game is not interesting enough for me to do side stuff. So I literally say on stream, you can watch, I go, guys, I don't think I want to keep playing this. Like, I think I'm pretty much done with this. I play a little bit more. And then I found out a couple things that really helped. Like, for instance, there's a little icon that appears in your quest log over the quest that progresses the main story. So even if you don't have a main quest, you can flip through and find which of the optional quests are going to kick the main story forward. So when I found that towards the end of the stream, I said, okay, guys, here's the deal. I'm going to give this game one more day. So day 3. And if I am not like digging this game by the end of tomorrow, like that's it. I got other shit I want to do. I got a DOS 2 playthrough to do. I got Pathfinder to finish. Like, I don't have time for subpar games. And at that point, it's like the game was okay. In fact, a lot of people on the day 2 were showing me your tweet, and I couldn't have agreed with it more. Like, the whole game felt like a hard average. Like, it was just it was like a solid 7. Like, the gameplay is pretty good. The characters are okay. The story is there. Like, it was just, the whole thing felt like a big ball of it's okay. It's a fun way to kill 6 hours, I guess.
Yeah.
It was like, to add to your point, it was got to the point, like, people kept asking, how is it liking it? How do you like the game? How do you like the game? It got to the point where I was like, just put JP's tweet in the chat, and that's pretty good. It's like, it's the most, like, decent, averagely good game.
The
like,
worst
I could play.
The worst part about that tweet is a conversation broke out about review scores, and I wanted to fucking just like carve my eyes out after reading. Like, well, a 7's not bad. It really should be a 5. And I was just like, stop! I don't want to read this.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear this anymore. Anyways, go. Please finish.
Okay. So here we are at the end of the second stream, and right towards the end, I find that little icon, and I'm like, okay, let's get through this next quest. And okay, day 3. Apparently, let me just say this. The biggest problem with Days Gone is the first 6 hours of pacing. In the 3 hours that I did on day 3, I got more interesting things happen each independent hour than the entire 6 hours before it. Basically, like, the main quest is like boring and doesn't even have anything to do with what's going on, and then it bottlenecks on like an optional quest, and that's the one that I almost quit on. And then after you do that, it's like 1 or 2 more main quests, and then it like blooms. Then there's like a new camp with a ton of NPCs. There's a brother that you're having to help out. There's a new leader to meet. There's this evil schizo jerk that you need to deal with. There's a bunch of marauders that are doing some weird stuff. They're like, all of a sudden there's these helicopters. What are they doing? What? This person may still be alive? Like, it's everything kicks into high gear in like between hours 7 and 9. Ever since that hour 7 to 9, every hour I've played this game, I've liked it more. And now I am straight excited to return to it tomorrow. This is a damn good game with one of the worst introductory pacing issues I have ever seen. There are amazingly good scenes in this game. There is excellent voice acting. There are good characters. There are powerful interactions between people. Like, it is a damn good game if you can get into it. But I have to say that first 6 hours, basically what they should have, the first 6 hours feels like the epilogue of a game that you've already completed the main story in. They basically, like, they put in all this side shit that really has nothing to do with anything you're going to be doing in the game. And then you just have to kind of like get through it. And the whole pull of the first 6 hours, the entire main story is 2 words: go north. Who gives a shit about 2 characters you don't know or care for going north?
There's a lot of that.
What drives you to keep playing? Like, seriously, at the end of day 2, I'm sitting here going, I don't really like this guy. He seems kind of like a dick. I have no idea who Boozer is, and I could not give less of a shit about these guys going north. There's no reason for me to keep playing this game.
That's
but then
a big
you get
detraction.
To that bottleneck, and all of a sudden you start getting these little tiny carrots on a stick, and that leads you to some really interesting shit. Like, dude, not to be too spoilery, but the zombies in this game are not like any other zombie game I've played. They're doing some really unique, interesting shit with the zombies in this game. I never would have known that if I'd not gotten 15 hours into the game. And like, now it's to the point where it's like, what the shit is going on with these? Like, this is just weird at this point. Like, this is like starting to get like traversing like Resident Evil shit. Like, I don't even know which direction they're going with it. Like, it's that kind of weird and interesting. So, and I want to find out what it is. Like, at this point, I want to finish this game because I want to know where multiple characters are going to end up. I want to know where my character is going to end up. I'm still unsure if this person is dead or not. I want to know where the zombies come from. Like, and not only that, but now that I'm more invested in the story, that's made all the side content that much better. Because like when you clear out the little side areas, not only like does it clear the fast traveling up, which by the way is really cool because if you ever fast travel to a place on the map, it'll show you the route, and the route turns red in the areas you need to clear. So then you can be like, oh, I want to connect these two camps. Let me see what I need to clear to do that, and then you can go and do it, which is pretty cool. And on top of that, the it's just I'm just having a great time with it. I don't know what else to say really. Like it's just everything has grown up. Oh, and then of course you can clear out camps and get better blueprints. And like the blueprints are huge because I mean you can take like a weapon and put nails in it, and then you get like an upgraded thing to put like saw blades and shit in it. Like you're making it looks like we're gonna start getting what's the game I'm thinking of? Dying Light style kind of stuff. So you're walking around with like makeshift weapons and everything, and then you get a bunch of perks to improve those and do all sorts of stuff. So yeah, man, like this is one of those games where the first 6 hours, honestly, pretty average and arguably kind of terrible in some ways. But then after you get over that hump, it gets to be damn good.
How many quests would you say that was into the game if you could factor like how long it? I know hours is how you're judging that, but I'm trying to think how far away I was because I don't know if we played in the particular order and hourage, etc.
You'll know you've gotten to my point when you open up your quest journal and there's nothing to do that looks like a main quest. The game tells you at one point to like clear out this area, and then after that, the only main quest is a standard. What are these called? What are these things called? A bounty quest that you get from this old lady that's running a camp.
Yeah.
Then you have to go do that bounty quest.
Yeah.
And that's what kicks off the rest of it. If you have done a bounty quest for an old lady and finished that bounty quest, then you are past the point that I passed. Like that's the quest. The bounty quest for the old lady is like, I think 3 to 4 quests after that is when it just.
Funny enough,
like,
that's
blooming like a flower.
That is right where I stopped. I've met the old lady, and I was like, all right, I understand. I think I went and cleared out like a nest or 2 after that, and that was it. That's all I did.
Jonah says, did Ko have a stroke? He went from F this game, I hate it, then to I love it. Is he getting paid to say something good? Jonah, dude, trust me. First of all, I've never been paid by Ben Studios. I've never done no spot work. Trust me, I'm as surprised as you are, man. Like seriously, go watch my stream, and you can see the entire process before your eyes.
Yeah, I actually messaged Ko before I played it, and he gave me like a pretty like not interested review in Skype. Yeah.
Here we go. Let me see. Where is it? Hey, how was Days Gone? It's a sandboxy Last of Us without the story or characters. It's fun to play, but the carrot on the stick was kind of missing. There's some hooks, but they're light. Yeah. Like that's basically like that was pretty much at the end of day 2, and I was like, there's some stuff there, but I'm not interested. And like it feel like it does play kind of like Last of Us, but just it didn't really have any of the rest of the pull. But yeah, now that I've kind of have the pull and stuff, it's gotten so much more interesting. Like it went from basically I had 0 investment. There was nothing going on in the game that I wanted to know more about. To now, not only do I want to know where these things are going, but now I have character development. Like we've met a bunch of really cool people. Like they're having their own interrelationship issues that we're helping out with. My buddy Boozer's been weaponized. No spoilers. Like it's cool. It's cool. Like it gets a lot better. Yep.
Yeah. So I wrote down a couple of things that I wanted to give my take on as well.
Sure.
I absolutely agree. This game suffers from too much exposition, too long to start getting compelling. It feels like you could cut off like 50% of the first like 10 missions and just make like 5 missions or 10 missions instead of 20 or whatever to get to the good stuff, to get to like, where you're unraveling the mystery, you're seeing the backstory and that kind of thing. It's far too long. The pacing is all off at the beginning. It's so slow to start, but once it actually picks up, goes right, it does get much more interesting, and you start figuring out like what's happening, why the zombies are doing what they're doing, what actually is like the genesis of those things. Also,
they've got these weird behavioral patterns and things that they hint at what they're for, but they keep you guessing.
Well, and there was one revelation that I won't reveal, like that I just had the last broadcast, and I went, "Oh, this is like a game changer, zombie wise." And you discover it, and you go, "Oh shit! Oh, that's cool. That's a great idea."
Is it the one I'm thinking of where you actually went, "Oh shit, Zeke"?
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. The other one is the main character. God damn, man. Either make him make him more likable or more hateable. Like he straddles the line where you don't feel like, yay, I'm evil, or yay, I'm a super goody two shoes. It's just like I'm
a sullen man child.
Yeah, kind of a douche. And you're like, oh man, he straddled the line. You can't do that. I mean, yes, that makes him more human, but it doesn't make him more of a story character.
Yeah, more fun.
Yeah. I would like it if they pushed it one way or the other.
I will say those
instead of just like this general like, I don't like him, to like, oh, I hate him, yay, or I love him, yay.
Yeah. What were you say, Co?
I gotta say, I really didn't like Deacon towards the beginning. In fact, I would make a lot of fun of him. Like he has these looks and these like sullen, like spoiled kid stuff. Like, hey Deacon, can you come help me with something? And the main character literally goes, fine. It's just like, come on, dude, your dad's not asking you to mow the lawn. Like Jesus, like, and he does these things all the time. Where he's like rolling his eyes and doing all that stuff. But I will say this: the game does a pretty good job of walking the line between like what he was and what he is. And the further you go on into the game, you start getting these glimpses of like where he came from and what he was and you start getting more of his backstory, and you find out like why some of these terrible things happened to him, why he joined a biker gang, and it all starts kind of like piecing together. There's one pretty iconic scene that I don't think Zeke is up to yet. And it is pretty powerful in terms of like where he came from and where he is now. And it helps. But what I'm trying to say is the more I'm playing the game, the less sullen, annoying, angry person he's becoming. And the more like, holy shit, this dude is actually someone who lost everyone he knows. He just hates everyone. He hates everything. He's got one dude left that he barely even like treats camaraderie. Like, like it's, you start kind of getting it a little bit more as it goes on. Yeah. And now it's to the point where I'm like, okay, this guy's pretty good at this. Like Sam Witwer, you kind of nailed this guy a little bit. Like it's getting better. It's getting better.
Sam Witwer's the guy from Red Dead, right? No. Where do I know Sam Witwer from?
He was in Metro, I think. Exodus, but Sam Witwer's in
Force.
He's
in
Supergirl. He was in Force Unleashed. Star Killer from Force Unleashed.
Funny enough, I know him more from from Supergirl than I do Star Killer. But yeah, okay, makes sense.
Was he in Until Dawn? That's probably where I recognize the voice.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, no, he.
The other thing I wanted to.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to move on to another topic.
I was going to say is like I completely agree with Zeke. He started as like a pretty asinine, sullen kind of jerk douche character, but it's becoming a lot better. Also, I can confirm that there's definite character development throughout the story of him. Like
I would hope so.
There's things that are happening at this stage of the game which the character at the beginning would not have done. So that's a positive. Yeah,
sure.
And for those people who are saying like he's like they like how human he is and stuff like that. Humans are fucking boring though. Like regular human beings, like that's why stories are created to like show off not normal situations with not normal people.
Right.
Like, yeah, sure. If he's like too believable, it's a fucking boring game.
You know what, Zeke?
Or too like real to life. Not believable, but too real to life.
I see what you're saying, but I have to admit, I'm kind of the exact opposite. I don't necessarily need larger than life people, and I don't mind seeing normal people in larger than life situations. So I think I speak for a good amount of people when, like, sometimes it's fine if a person's normal if he's in a situation that would never be normal, and then you see how that unfolds, kind of thing.
Well, maybe I'm misspeaking then. Maybe I'm not like getting my point across.
No, I see where you're coming from. Like, it was a good point. Both sides
let me put it this way. His reactions and his responses to the things that happen in the environment and stuff are not exciting.
Because they're not one way or the other.
You can put a real human being in this situation and have exciting shit, like exciting reactions, exciting stuff like that, and have it still be believable, like a la Last of Us. Like, you saw a normal dude, totally believable, but it was compelling. This guy is just, he started off being a little aloof and not like really, it didn't seem like he was all that invested in the fucking things that were happening.
To use a negative word, is he flat at the beginning? Is that a better way to say it? Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And moving on from that, the blueprints, God, I wish they came a little bit faster. Like, I got the first blueprint and I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. We're going to be creating shit. And maybe it's because I didn't do it the proper way to get them. But I wish I could create more stuff, because I got really excited when you could start putting nails and stuff. And I was like, oh shit.
Zeke, do you know how the blueprint system works? Because I didn't for like the first 15 hours.
Yeah, you either complete quests or clear out camps, and that kind of thing.
If you look on the world map, you can actually mouse around, and the campfires will tell you clearing this camp gives you a blueprint. So anytime you see those, you want to clear those camps.
Okay. Yep.
So I missed that for the first. Dude, the little story icon. There's so many little things in this game that are super easy to miss.
So I think that is one issue I did have with the game. From the very beginning, you start the game and there's a billion things in front of you on this screen. Like, this is basically the beginning of the game. And I have very little knowledge as to what's actually meaningful, what I need to pay attention to. And I was kind of overwhelmed, even more so when you like flick up on the touchpad on the PS4 and the menus come up that are full fucking screen and just all over the place. There's like 30 fucking storylines to follow, and I was, for someone that usually doesn't get overwhelmed by that stuff, I was very overwhelmed by it at the get-go. And I don't know if they need to introduce that stuff slower or tell you what you actually need to pay attention to or what. But
and when you said mouse over, I was like, wait a minute, what? Mouse?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally know
generic
what you mean.
term, yeah.
Cursor over.
Yeah.
But I was like, what the fuck? What copy did you get? I thought it was only on PlayStation.
Oh my god. I wish this game was out for the PC so badly.
I've heard a bunch of people say that. A bunch of people say that.
Not only because the game, like the gunplay, I actually kind of like the gunplay. I use guns all the time, and I actually like spend time upgrading my guns and stuff. So I have like rank 3 and rank 4 weapons and sniper rifles and machine guns and shit. It's pretty awesome. I got like my sidearm is a little shotgun, so I can just whip that out and blast things. It's great. That being said, though, I only have 1 point in the gun line, so that's actually the next thing I'm going to be like developing. But no, the thing is having a mouse like is great. Also, by the way, if you're like me and you don't like auto aim, the game doesn't turn on auto aim by default, but it does turn on something called auto snap. And if you don't want auto aim, turn that off, because it made it so much easier. Like what happens is it doesn't, like, basically it's like a soft auto aim, so it'll keep your cursor locked in a region of an enemy, and then you have to like move it around inside. Oh. And the problem is, if you're aiming at someone far away and some dude runs like between you and them, all of a sudden you're soft locking on the wrong dude.
Dude, there was
like, it's terrible. Yeah, it's really bad.
There was an old console game that did that, and I remember almost breaking a control. Maybe it was like one of the Halos. When you would like aim in and dial in Halo, then someone would walk in front of the cursor, it would track them for a split second. Yeah, that shit would drive me insane.
Does that game. I found that it was a lot easier. It was actually, weirdly enough, easier to turn all the auto aim off and use a controller. And I'm terrible with a controller, but I'm still able to like fumble my way through. The focus stuff really helps, being able to slow down time and kind of take your time aiming and everything.
Yeah, that was the first thing chat told me to unlock was the focus.
Not only do I wish it was PC for the mouse, this game gets framey. Like when you're traveling on the open world and you get to some parts of the world where you're like coming over a hill and there's like stuff all around you, like you will drop into like high teens, low 20s. There are some really fun action scenes that have definitely been reduced in awesomeness due to the frameness.
Yeah.
And it's a 30 FPS anyway. So, I mean, if that's the kind of thing that bothers you, like this is one of those games that makes me so sad that exclusives are a thing because it would be so much better on PC.
We call that cinematic, in the PR world.
It's just kind of it's frustrating because like I'd love like this game would be so much fun with the mouse. The cover system's actually pretty good. The gunplay is actually pretty cool. Like I would love to be able to use a mouse and keyboard with this game. And then the graphics and frame rate would just be icing on the cake.
You want a PS4 Pro, just for clarification?
I am.
Okay. That sucks.
As far as the aiming goes, I think if you put it on hard mode, they untick that box, one of those boxes automatically. Like
I know you can't do auto aim in hard mode, so yeah,
it's auto aim. They turn off auto aim.
There's auto aim and auto snap, and I think they just gray out the auto aim for hard mode. From what I saw, I don't know if you can do the snap or not. You'll have to check. That may be a thing. I don't know.
Okay. And the last thing I wanted to touch on that code mentioned was the bottlenecks. Those happen like quite a bit throughout. Like you'll have like all these missions, like this big list of missions, and then it goes like this, and you got like 2 missions, and then it balloons out again, and you have like 10 missions, and then
like an hour,
2 missions. Yeah, it definitely does that. So you end up doing a lot of what feels like side content, but it's like a couple of mandatory things to do before it opens back up again.
And also, by the way, a little tip for anyone playing Days Gone themselves. If you ever get to a situation when you're looking at all of your lists and there is nothing for you to do that's main quest-wise, get on your bike. 9 times out of 10, you need to get a radio call to progress the main quest. So it became, like, there was definitely a few times that I got pretty frustrated. I'm like, what do I do? Where do I go? Like, I need to know what to do next. Anytime you're feeling that way, just jump on your bike. And the game will kind of start guiding you in the right direction.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It does kind of suck. There was definitely like one time where I spent 20 minutes running around a camp looking for the right NPC to talk to, and then it's like, well, I guess I have nothing else to do. Let me jump on my bike. And right when I get on my bike, it's like, hey, could you come see me in the med lab? And it's like, mother, I was just there. Like, why didn't you just? I was literally standing in front of you.
Is the walkie connected to the bike?
Wondering,
like, do you not have a walkie or something unless you're on the bike?
No, it's on your chest. And I think the story reason that they don't do it is because you might be around zombies. So, like, the sound of the walkie would, like, alert them or something like that. I'm thinking that's a story choice.
I see.
You do have also, if you look at your bike, you do have, like, a nice, I think it's a CB radio or something on the bike. Okay. So it may be that you have, like, a walkie and then you have, like, a stronger radio. I don't know.
Makes sense. Well, cool. I mean, that's Days Gone. Yeah.
And it looks like I will be continuing it. According to the Twitter poll here, it was close, but it's eking out to finish it, and I'm happy to do it. I'm actually like kind of looking forward to it.
Cool.
Not only that, Days Gone is getting exceptionally. I did not set myself on fire just then. Someone else did that. Days Gone is getting great viewership on Twitch. I mean, it's wild because I'm like one of the last kind of like larger streamers that's regularly streaming it, and I'm getting like 17 to 19K a day, which is huge for my channel.
I heard a lot of people say.
I'm kind of looking around in the directory, and I'm like, the game's not that bad, guys. Like,
I heard a lot of people say the game's a lot of fun to watch, and it's not that fun to play. Before I played it, and so I wonder how much of that is true. Like, people are trying to experience the story by not actually playing it themselves and watching it on Twitch because they didn't get past the 6-hour hurdle that you guys are referencing a lot of. So
6-hour roadblock.
Yeah.
Tutorial.
It's been great viewership wise for sure. Like, no matter how much like I've complained about it or said like meh about it, like it still brings in the viewers. So
yeah,
I'm even more happy to play because of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And also, it doesn't hurt that I kind of look like a biker. Like when I get like all the regalia.
Oh yeah, by the way, I like
on.
you had like a leather jacket on. And
Yeah, he
stuff
did.
for that, I think.
He did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And it's
Good.
It's good.
Yeah, I just want to.
Well, and
give a
people
shout
ask
out.
me if I have a bike, like, and I do have a motorcycle, and it's just nice. It's nice to be able to be like, yeah, man, I ride.
There you go. What were we gonna say, Co?
What kind of bike do you have, Zeke?
Oh,
Softail Heritage Classic.
Nice. I was expecting to be like, well, got a couple Huffies.
yeah. I honestly thought you were joking, and I was waiting for the like laughter or pun to come. No, but you actually have a bike. Okay.
Yeah.
For some
I
reason,
got a
I
really
didn't
nice-
believe you when you said that.
I call it a Diamondback. It's a mountain bike.
Nice.
Anyway, I was gonna say a shout out and apology to the viewers that are currently following my playthrough, because I ended it probably at one of the worst times I possibly could have today, by accident. So I am sorry, my dudes. I will make it up to you tomorrow.
Let me cut away from this because I think we're getting into more story stuff.
It wasn't on purpose.
I will say that I was interested for the first time in the story. The second that you get to the graveyard early on and you run into the first helicopter, like from that point, I was kind of interested. Like, oh, this is. But then I didn't see any more of that for quite some time. Or if I did, it was like on the other fucking side of the map, really far away. And then the whole like, oh, you have to get gas, and if you run out of gas, like, have you guys found yourself out in the middle of fucking nowhere without gas, and you're just trapped until you find it?
Yes. The
Okay.
thing is, though, is once you start learning how to take advantage of the system, it becomes super easy.
Okay.
So, like all of the Nero checkpoints always have a gas can. There are gas stations all over the map. You can just pull up next to them. You don't even have to get off your bike. You just hold down square and it'll fill your gas right up at the pumps. So that's super handy.
Yeah.
You can recall your bike. So if you want to like run somewhere else, you can like, if you're close enough to it, you can call it over to you.
You just
and
whistle
then
for
you
your
can,
bike
call
and it shows
to
up.
the-
Yeah.
Sorry, well, it's a little sticky, but you can pull it over and then just fill it up that way. Once, and then most importantly, with the fast traveling, once you kind of get the map unlocked a little bit, so you can easily fast travel between it, the whole game speeds up. It gets to the point where you can pretty much just fast travel at every quest.
God, I
And
just
if
wish
you
there
can't
was.
fast travel at every quest, you can fast travel like right next to it.
I wish there were like tutorials that blatantly said that in all the ways that you just did, not just like you need gas for your bike. Because the second that popped up, it's like, fuck me, like this is going to be an annoying thing.
Well,
to
you can
deal with.
upgrade your gas tank, and that's huge because then you have like so much more to work with when you're going to places and fast traveling. You get to fast travel longer distances. So
Yeah.
And also, like,
there's
if
so
you
much
talk
good
about
stuff about the
believable
whole they just don't tell
characters,
you about.
Right. Yeah. They don't
Yeah.
tell you about at all.
talk about believable characters. How about a believable fucking gas tank? I mean, motorcycles get great gas mileage, and you can go. You go like like you get 1 gallon of gas, and you go like a mile, and you're just like, oh,
be
gotta
fair,
get gas. And like, fucking come on, man.
This is
Come on, dude. You can go all the way across Oregon.
Zeke, dude, they're working with 2+-year-old gasoline. I mean, at this point, it's like barely more than dirty water.
It would be completely unusable at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
If it was left in a non-airtight container, it would be bad gasoline, and you couldn't use it.
correct. I think the premise at one point they mentioned that gas is like one of the most limited resources they have in the world. Like every time you'll fill up like in a camp or something, they'll be like, man, it's gonna suck when this runs out. So it's interesting because there's clearly no more gas being made anywhere. So
Did you actually look it up while you're playing? Because on stream I looked up like, does gas go bad or when does gas go bad and stuff like that. Like in a non-airtight container, like 30 days ish, if it has like an agent, preservative agent in it, it'll last like a few months longer. But like we're in like almost
2 years.
it's over 2 years.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So
And to answer
the
your
gas-
question, Zeke, if I know gas goes bad, yes, I do own a lawnmower.
Wait, you don't have an electric? What? Why not an electric lawnmower? Is there a
I
thing?
got a yard.
Oh, so you're saying you run out of electricity on the charge?
Yeah, well, no, the thing with lawnmowers is every single year you mow your lawn for like the big part of the year, and then you have to store the lawnmower because it gets winter. And then every time when it comes back out, if you left any gas in there, it's bad.
See,
So
people
you-
not
That's
understanding.
a process that many of us go through all the time.
Yeah, people are like, well, why doesn't JP know that? It's like because I don't mow my lawn. I have someone else do it for me, so I
Me
don't
too.
know.
My cousin does mine.
Yeah, I'm learning here.
Good
I'm
thing,
actually
though.
asking real questions, not like, well, why don't you have an electric co? It's literally me like, no, why? What's the deal with why not? Why do you get a gas?
Your lawnmower isn't a robot that you use with a phone app.
Yeah,
What year do you live in, Co?
yeah.
But a good thing, Co. I mean, you just got to wait a few years. You gave birth to 2 lawnmowers. So,
That's true.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I gave birth to 2 MMO gold farms.
Mm,
Very different. I have a different class.
Oh,
of
shit. The important stuff,
the
right?
important stuff. Yeah,
important.
yeah. I mean, you can get them
I mean,
started
you didn't give
early.
birth. I'm sorry, Lena. He didn't give birth. I apologize.
That's true. Yeah, you can also get them
Hey, you
started
don't know
early.
me.
on
You
that-
don't know me. You don't know us. You don't know my situation.
Go get them started in September by clicking on that Borderlands loot. You know, just make a big thing and when
Make
just
little
click on
Twitch
it,
accounts. Watch all the big streamers. There we go.
Mhm.
Get them gold keys, yo.
just link it up to your account. Easy, easy living. Easy
Brought to
living.
you by Gearbox Software.
Oh God. Anyways, any final thoughts on Days Gone? Maybe we'll revisit it next week after you guys have both
Yeah,
finished it.
I would love to talk about it when I'm done.
Okay.
Like, because if it keeps amping up at the rate it has been, and if it ends with a bang, I could be talking about a top 10 this year.
Really? That's well. I was thinking about
Not game of the year, a top 10. Like it could be, and I mean I don't want to say it that early now, but like it's good. It's really gotten a lot better.
Wait.
It's just a joy to play at this point, and I'm like 15 or 20 hours in.
if
So,
it's
I
not
mean,
a top 10 game of the year, what would it be on? What do you mean?
what do you mean?
Well, what do you mean by top 10 then if it's not a game of the year list?
Oh no, I just meant a top 10 that's not a game of the year. I wasn't saying it's going like game of the year potential. 'Cause
Okay.
I think honestly the first 6 hours probably kind of eliminates that, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I mean, it could be good enough to get in the top 10, which is crazy because I mean, most people are like, this game is super average. It's not that great. But I'm sitting here going like, well, it's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
if you dig in a little bit. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Noted. Okay, cool.
Top 10 most averagest games.
Yeah. I saw that. That's pretty good. Zeke, any final thoughts? Or I mean, we're going to circle back on it next week, so feel free to reserve final thoughts till then.
Nope. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Apparently, like I've been told by Twitter or whatever that I'm maybe a little bit more than halfway ish, but I think the rest of the game will go a lot faster.
I'm a little bit further than you, and I was getting 2/3 the way through. So that sounds pretty accurate.
How many hours is that? For, like 20 hours for both of you? 15 hours?
I'm guessing about 30 for the game. Like if you
Okay.
stick mostly to the main campaign and do a little side content, they're saying about 30.
That's decent. Yeah. That's
40 to 45 if you want to do world clearing.
It'll be about 40 for me, like Zeke time.
That's definitely more than I thought, for sure. That's good to hear. Zeke, let's jump on over and switch it up. We did some AAA stuff. Let's jump into Indie Sunday on a Monday here.
Yeah, I fucked off again and didn't want to wake up on Sunday, so I put the indie day on Monday again.
Hey, I didn't ask. I just wanted to talk about indies. So,
You're right. That was an overshare.
that was an overshare.
I apologize.
Let's jump into Dark Devotion here. The first game is.
Wow, I just dumped my purse out, didn't I?
I already understand what's going on in this game just by seeing it, but I'll let you explain it. How was Dark Devotion here?
Dark Devotion. So picture it's sort of like oh god, what was that? Was that
Salt and
roguelike that
Sanctuary?
everyone that was playing just a little bit ago? The roguelike that blew up.
How about Race Rain 2?
No, it had turrets and like you could get like upgrades and stuff.
Dead Cells?
Dead Cells, thank you.
Okay.
It's like a mix between it felt like a mix between Salt and Sanctuary and Dead Cells. It's except slow. It has very deliberate combat.
Before you move on, I like this restriction from a viewer in chat. Explain this game without saying Dark Souls once.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
It's like Dark Shit.
Shit. You can't say-
So the game takes place in the dark, and it's very dark all the way through, but you can get things that light up your path. But when you kill monsters, they drop their souls and you pick them up, and they
In the dark.
they become your currency.
Nice. Nice. What?
No, I mean it's nothing like Dark Souls. It's a roguelike. Metroidvania is a better category for this. It has a map system as a checkpoint system, but it's a roguelike Metroidvania. So like you die, you come back, you get power ups, you bring them, you die, you have those power ups at the hub place that you equip yourself with, and you go out with. So like you go through like a level, you pick up like a blueprint for a sword or whatever. When you die, that sword will be at the smithy at the hub. This guy right here.
Oh, sorry. Skip
So
ahead.
I had to
This is
find
Kombat.
that rusty sword and shield, which someone brought up a good point. How do you smith a rusty blade?
It takes a lot of work. You know,
It's like tang, 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 and then he has to like wait for it to rust over.
yeah. He goes out and uses a little bit and then hands it to you. It's a hand-me-down, really. Yeah. They need to work on the fine print.
The big maybe I don't know if it's a detraction for people or a selling point for people, but the game is fucking difficult. At least it starts out pretty difficult. Like a couple of strikes from enemies and you're done. Like you get 2 armor pieces and 2 health to start with, and you can get like health items and stuff, but the fucking enemies they'll kill you quick. And if you don't, like, aggression seemed to be what I was not refusing to do, but like neglecting to do for some enemies. And they have like other attacks that you don't see. Like, for instance, there's this guy with these claws, right? And like the first time I saw him, I just went whack, 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 and I killed him right away. And the second time I was like a little bit more cautious and like hit him once and I backed off. And then he just like jumps at it. He's like, and just you're dead. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. So I like the mix of slow, like skeleton-y guys with a sword that just go and just smash their sword. And then some guys who like are like play possum and then they just like wreck you. So there is a good amount of difficulty. Dodge rolling is a thing for sure. Blocking is also a thing if you want to use the shield. Blocking will negate all damage, but it will deplete your stamina. And stamina is so fucking important in this. Oh my God, I cannot tell you how many times I died because I couldn't roll or swing my sword. So that is definitely, if you get in this game, definitely something you want to be aware of is you can do like 3, maybe 4 things, and then you're out of stamina. So fucking budget that shit well.
Are there upgrades that'll improve that, or is there an upgrade system? Okay.
Yes. There is an upgrade system. Hold on. I want to make sure because I mean, Indie Sunday, I play a lot of games, so I want to make sure because I'm seeing a menu system and I'm not sure if it's the same one.
Oh, and this, let's see. I'm trying to scan through and see if
I'm pretty sure there is a way to up your the way you up your health is getting armor and equipment pieces. Your equipment pieces allow you to have more health and more armor. But as far as stamina goes, there are upgrades for stamina. Okay, there are upgrades for stamina. I didn't really get into I didn't play a ton of the game. I only have, an hour and a half into the game. So that's barely even scratching the surface for anything that's rogue, whatever adjective you want to put on the end. Roguelike, roguelite, whatever.
Yeah.
If you know like what that means, you really start to get a hang of the game about 20 fucking hours into any like good roguelike. But the environment of the game it's pretty stock. You're a dark dungeon, you're fighting skeletons and people with swords and you know, like the mutants with claws and stuff. It's just like, okay. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just like I've seen it all before. Nothing super innovative about the enemy design or the character design or anything like that. I will say I do dig it's super religiously overtoned, like crusade-y, old-timey religious. Like, and I'm not talking like made up religion. I'm talking like Bible shit. And it's great. I love that stuff. And they speak in those kind of terms. Like your faith is a huge is like currency. You see the bottom left corner there that says 60?
Yep.
That's how much faith I have. And when you get to an altar, you sit there and you pray at the altar. And it takes like 20 faith to open this door. And then when you get to a door and you have like 15 faith and it costs 20, it's like, you do not have enough faith. You're like, oh no. God damn it, I gotta go get some faith.
Okay. All right.
An interesting idea for currency.
Yeah.
But the faith
like a whole new meaning to thoughts and prayers.
It does.
Oh, cool. I can use those. Thanks.
Nice.
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
This
well
is
done.
the tree. That's right.
Well done.
Yeah, you find these little crystals throughout the land, and they fill up this tree and give you extra damage, extra endurance. I forgot about that. They're kind of few and far between, but you can find upgrades and whatnot. But like few and far between in a roguelike is normal. It's par for the course. Like there should be like items spread out all over the place and difficult to collect them all. It's kind of like the MO for rogue games.
Right.
The boss fights are appropriately difficult because you're supposed to like go through levels multiple times and collect blueprints for different shit that you can outfit yourself with at the beginning. You can do ranged weapons. You can do melee weapons. There's two-handed weapons that I found. I'm sure there's a bunch of other shit in there, but the variety of weapons is good. It's cool. I ended up getting like a boss weapon after I beat like the level 1 boss, and it was just this huge like cudgel with spikes in it, and it takes forever to swing, but boy does it pack a punch, and that's awesome for someone like me who just loves like taking a step back and just watching the skeletons just go. So there's a nice variety if you like bows and arrows or sword and board or big smashy weapons, stuff like that. But Dark Devotion, in case you are not reading, you're just listening. Dark Devotion is the name of the game. Came out the 25th of April, but it seems like it. Well, maybe not. I was gonna say it seems like it's been out longer, but I'm not sure if it was in early access or not. 25th, so it's been out for about 5 days.
Yeah.
Hyperion Workshop is the developer, published by Arcade Crew, and it's $19.99, $20.
All right. The next game I know about, and I'm thinking it was right up your alley, but we'll see what you thought. This is Totally Accurate Battle Simulator.
This game is fucking fantastic.
Okay, that's what I figured.
It's fucking great. I didn't know what to expect. And Totally Accurate Battle Simulator is hilarious. It's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is what is a big turnoff for me. Like, it's okay. Some things that are positive about like the Total War games, right? Where you like set up your armies and stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever, like they're more accurate. Like this one is just like it's made by the same guy who did Mount Your Friends.
That's all you should say right there. We should move
Remember
on.
Mount Your Friends? Dude, Mount Your Friends, right? That game was goofy as fuck, but fun, right?
Yeah.
So this is basically what it is. You set up this is the tutorial. You go through the tutorial and it goes through different ages in history. You start out as like cavemen with like wooden shields and like rocks and shit like that. And you got like a shaman doing like he does like this he's a bone shaman or something like that. He does this spell where like these bones like come up through the dirt and like disrupt a line of people. And then you get to like the Vikings in medieval times, and eventually like you go to the Far East, like samurais and ninjas and fireworks, and coming soon, like on the end, there's like pirates, and they're not in the game yet because this game is still in early access.
Oh, this isn't full release.
No, let's get that right out of the gate. This game is still in early access.
A long time ago on early access, so I figured this was the release with how much stuff is in it, but it appears I am wrong. I feel like I could release it with how much shit is in there.
But it's fucking hilarious how they fight each other because they're like made of the. See that? my knight just got taken out by two ballista arrows at the same time.
That was like Looney Tunes when the dude gets hit and his shoes are left behind. That's what just happened with that shield.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shit like that happens all the time. I was laughing throughout the game because of how like they fight each other, because it's like they've got bones but they're not connected in their body, so they're like rah, rah, like trying to hit each other with that shit.
Sure.
With like their axes or their rocks or whatever they happen to have. And certain like you get to pick. It's like actual like tabletop Warhammer, like Warhammer 40K or whatever. You get like a point like limit, and you can pick all the units up to that point limit to try and beat the other team. And sometimes there is some strategy to it, because sometimes one enemy worth 3,000 will win you the match instead of like 10 enemies with 300 value.
Right.
Or 10 soldiers with 300
value.
Yeah,
there's actually a game to it. It's not just watching a bunch of models fight each other. Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of funny because there was this amazing game about 20 years ago made by Bungie, the Halo devs, called Myth. And it's basically this game exactly, except with more strategy, because you control your army after it comes onto the field. So I'm looking at this and I'm like getting like 20-year-old nostalgia pangs from this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna put a clip in chat and I want you to show it because it's that good.
Okay.
This was like the final, like I was like, all right, we're about ready to switch games. This will be my final battle. And it just ended perfectly. It couldn't have ended better. Like, because sometimes they do like one-on-one battles, but this was like a big battle, and it was down to like the last two soldiers, one of mine and one of his.
Sure.
Or one of the computers.
All right.
And this kind of sums up the game.
All right, here we go.
We just got one archer left.
But how to get the zoom in?
Can you zoom in? Yeah.
Yeah, you can totally zoom in.
Did he not have a bow and arrow? Or why did he kick him?
Perfect way.
Oh, it didn't. Oh, it doesn't zoom in. It didn't zoom in on that clip. Can you go back to my Twitch thing and go to the end of the?
That's a lot of work. I understand it's a kick. I don't know if
okay.
But why didn't he shoot him? Like, did he drop his bow and arrow? Does that happen?
No. They had an archer.
Oh.
The guy that I had, like the cheapest units are for this particular like era are called hobbits, or I think they're called hobbits. They're like 50 per unit, and all they do is they have no weapons. They just walk up and they kind of annoy you and punch you and kick you and stuff. But this archer was standing there like ready to go, and my hobbit just comes up and kicks him in the dick, and that won me the fucking game. And it was so fucking great.
Now, Zeke, just to be clear,
right there.
If that archer would have fired, then he would have killed your guy, right?
Yeah, he would have, right?
I guess like a one shot, pretty much.
I think so. Zeke's too excited of watching himself.
No, I'm sorry. I opened a tab and it was putting sound in my ears. I'm sorry. What did you say, Co?
I said, so just to be clear, like if that archer would have fired an arrow at that hobbit, you said he was called, or the then it would have instantly died, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
Waiting for the zoom in here. There it is.
Oh, it's in chat. Look at there's a clip in chat. Oh,
I'm
there
ar-
we go.
I've already got it. I'm already ahead of chat. I don't need chat.
Yep.
There's the zoom in. Nice.
There's the zoom in. Oh, it wasn't a hobbit. That's
Is
right.
that a monk
I
or
forgot.
something?
No, it was there's these Chinese dragons that blow fire, but there's 4 people underneath them with sticks holding the dragon up. And if like one of them dies, the dragon falls over, but the soldiers are still alive, but they don't have any weapons. So they're just walking. Look at
it's
his head back.
they gave him googly
Look at
eyes.
the
That's
dick.
beautiful.
It's so good.
The other do the other models have eyes on them too? I feel like that's the first eyes I've seen.
They have X's. Look, you can see on the bad guy.
Oh,
he's got X's over his eyes because he's dead.
Jesus.
Right.
What so tech wise and like progression wise, how far in the game is whatever this stage is with the Chinese dragons and the archers? Do you know? It's just like 4 or 5 in out of 6
Out of you mean like
on the progression here? Like how many?
once you
in
do
is
the
that?
tutorial, you can have whatever armies are available in the game.
Oh, okay. See, I thought there was like a single player where it constantly goes up, but the tutorial is just a certain amount and then it
Yes.
stops. Oh.
It goes, yes. The tutorial starts out like you can only use these guys. Now you can only use these guys. Now you can only use these guys, and it kind of gives you like a feeling for each one going up. But the game has a surprising amount of levels in it. Didn't I think someone in chat said like 100 levels? I mean, look, there it is.
So
Like,
these are all
that's
like the
all,
challenges,
like,
basically. Yeah.
That's one of that. That's the dynasty. The challenge, like each one of them has like 30 missions to do. Like,
Jeez.
and apparently the challenge is like challenging stages strategically or like tight spaces where you have to like figure out how to kill a lot of people in this tight little space and stuff like that. So it has a surprising amount of content. I played for about 2 hours, and I think I might have gotten like a tenth of it done.
Wait, what were those arrows right there? What is that?
That was the firework. That's the firework on firework cart on wheels. It just goes.
That's fucking cool looking. There's no sense of like multiplayer or anything like that, right? It's all versus AI, or it's AI versus AI in a sense.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. But man, they'd be really remiss if they didn't add a multiplayer. Oh, there is multiplayer. Okay, because I asked that throughout, and they were like, not yet. Because I asked if anybody wanted to play with me. Maybe I'm lying about the multiplayer.
I don't know. Seems like a fun game just to fuck around in though. So.
Oh yeah, it's totally hilarious. To see like, it's like you ever play Gang Beasts?
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's like Gang Beasts War Simulator.
Yeah. That's a good way to sell it for sure. Cool. The next game is Zombotron, and this just makes me think of fucking Zombo.com. So let's talk about it, and I'll just sit there and think about Zombo.com in my head.
You're not far off, man. It's by Armor Games. Remember Armor Games?
Yeah, that's.
Remember that like Newgrounds and Congregate was Congregate or
wow.
Yeah.
that kind of shit? Yeah. This
Way
is
back in the day.
the Flash game, but on like Flash Game Company that made this game for Steam.
Weird.
So this game, I didn't enjoy it as much as most people who played it did. I found out.
Okay.
No, I mean like because people in chat were saying how much they enjoyed it, and I was not enjoying it as much because the controls are spongy and the aiming is weird. However, play it with a keyboard and mouse. Do yourself a favor, play it with a keyboard and mouse. I played it with a controller, and I will never go back. I will never, it's a platforming game, so I'm going to play it with a controller. Not playing it the optimal way, I admit. So I probably can't give this a fair assessment because you're supposed to probably play it with keyboard and mouse because of the aiming reticle that goes around and stuff like that.
I'm trying to think of the word that I want to use to describe this. It does not look like clean when it comes to playing with the controller, for sure. Like it needs precise aiming for the bullets to connect, etc.
Yeah, because there are headshots, there are exact shots that you want to make, criticals, that kind of shit.
That statement sounds really stupid, by the way. It needs precise aiming for the bullets to connect. if you're watching or listening to the MP3, go back and watch the video so I don't sound like a fucking moron saying that to you. Sorry, go ahead.
What I mean, I think this is also kind of a Metroidvania kind of a game with checkpoints and maps and stuff. I think
Looks like it could be, for sure.
I played it for like an hour and a half. Is about maybe an hour and 40 minutes is about how long I played it. It was okay. It didn't have a lot in the way of like stuff that compelled me to come back to it.
Sure.
I played it and I probably won't pick it up again. But there's nothing inherently wrong with it if you like the art style and you like these kind of like aiming platformer games. But the story wasn't anything too great. The boss fight was definitely very challenging. The one boss fight that I actually completed was pretty fucking hard, and it had a cool mechanic to it that you kind of have to figure out when you get there. That is not like made clear to you, because you're trying to kill this guy, and you're like, "What the fuck is even going on?" And then something clicks, and you're like, "Oh, that's what I have to do." Got it. So that was kind of cool, and the boss fight was satisfying to finish, but the levels didn't keep me interested all that much.
What is this? I'm trying to think how much this would cost, but go ahead. What was that?
I didn't even say. Let me just real quick go back. Totally accurate battle simulator. I didn't even say like it's by Landfall, published by Landfall. It's in early access. It's at $14.99. Okay.
Oh, okay. $14.
Now going on to Zombotron.
What was that?
Is there a release date on TAB? Like, is it close to release?
No
idea. Okay.
Having seen that game, haven't played it.
Let me ask you a better question, Zeke. Do you think it's worth playing right now?
Yeah, good question for Zeke. Because having seen it, I think it is, but I haven't played it.
Okay,
It looks like it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like there's enough content.
It has more than enough content to warrant the $14.99 price tag. In my opinion.
Cool. Then how much is this? Is this like, if this is more than $10, I'd be a little bit worried about grabbing it.
It's $14.99.
Okay. They're pushing it.
It's
Maybe
$15. Developed by Ant Karlov, published by Armor Game Studios. Came out about 8-9 days ago.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And how long did you play that one for? Does it seem like the areas change much, or is there like they kind of change a little bit?
Yeah, I played it for about an hour and a half, and I this is the boss.
Oh,
this is the boss fight that I got to.
Huh. Okay.
Well, and it's actually pretty challenging, but it was more challenging for me because of the floaty controls. Oh, the one thing I really fucking hate. I fucking hated two things. Fall damage.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, I hated the fall damage in this game.
Yeah.
And also, even if you don't have fall damage, if you jump off something that's just a bit too high, you have a moment where you pause. You go, ugh. And then you can start moving. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's so frustrating. And the jumping is very like, you jump and you can move in the air. It's very, very floaty and spongy, and I didn't care for that.
Okay. The fourth and final game is another game that I've seen, and I think it's going to be right up your alley. Those are my previews.
Wait a minute.
What's that?
Wait a minute.
What?
I fucked up.
What?
Totally Accurate Battle Simulator was not made by the Mount Your Friends. I'm sorry. This next one is.
Oh, okay. That makes a little bit more sense then. Bound Up and Squirming. It's fine.
Yep. Sorry about that.
We'll just let this game speak for itself.
Was made by the Mount Your Friends guys.
Yeah.
God, I'm sorry, guys. This just happens when I play, 6 games in one day or 5 games in one day.
The one person in chat is very upset with you, Co. I mean, I don't know.
Pretty sure he just unfollowed you.
Yeah, he unfollowed, unsubbed. He will never You're done.
No,
in
he
this town.
tweeted at me.
Oh,
He actually tweeted at me, thanked me for playing the game.
The
okay.
actual dev.
The actual dev.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, so the actual
'Cause
dev
I
is
thought I
upset
felt
with
real
you,
bad.
not someone in
Yeah.
chat. Okay.
It's okay, Zeke. It's not like he poured a portion of his life into that.
Yeah,
project or
geez,
anything.
it's not like months of his work was just completely uncredited to the wrong fucking game.
You couldn't be more disrespectful if you tried.
Everyone in chat
I know,
judged him
man.
on that one thing, and it was a wrongful judge. It was just a wrongful judge.
Yeah, I am sorry.
We're fucking with you, by the way. Let's talk
I
about
know.
this game, because it's doing a great job of selling itself right now.
Okay.
This chat is just freaking out about it.
The name of the game is called Bound Up and Squirming. By the title alone, I think is what got it voted in, because during Indie Sunday or Indie Day, you can the chat votes on what's next
Right.
via straw poll. And so this one was the last game I played that day. And let me tell you, I was like, oh, maybe we'll have like half an hour of like goof around, fun time, whatever. This game actually has a good amount of goofiness. Yes, obviously you can see that, but the challenge in it actually made me want to keep playing it because there are basically two mechanics to the game. There are roll, and there is like scrunch up and jump, like spring
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Pogo stick stuff.
Yeah. So you're only like, see that little glowy thing around your feet? That's because that's where your control comes from. You're controlling around the feet. So you move the camera in order to like position yourself with a roll, so your feet are like at the edge of the platform, so you can actually spring off, and your angle judges whether you go up like straight in the air or straight forward or that kind of stuff. And they have like, see the challenge of 14 seconds?
Jeez.
It's insane. But like I beat one challenge, like challenge time, because if you complete the level, you go on to the next level.
Mhm.
Challenge time is just like how it sounds. It's just a challenge. See if you can do it. I beat one of them, and I was so fucking happy with myself. Like I was like inordinately excited about beating like the 20-second time limit. I was like, I got like 5 milliseconds underneath the time, and it's fun, challenging. The music, the accompanying music, is varied enough so it doesn't become monotonous. There's enough tracks and enough different background tracks to keep you, or not to keep you interested, but to as to not like annoy you
Right.
over time. Because a lot of times a game will have like a music loop of like 45 seconds, and especially if it's a challenging game that you have to do over and over again. And that's just a terrible choice. But this game has enough different tracks, and it's actually not too bad that it doesn't really grate on you that much. But it's a very simple game. It's super cheap, $4.49
Jeez.
right now.
That's
$5
cheap.
normally. It's 10% off right now. I had a blast playing it. It's just basically like a challenge yourself game with, like, I played it with keyboard, mouse, and I played it with controller. Either one works fine depending on your play style. And you unlock, like, if you get like challenge times, you unlock like different gowns. Like I think I unlocked a pink gown to wear, and I think like that's all you might be all you unlock by doing challenge stuff. But it's just it's easy, simple fun, in a kind of goofy like environment, and goofy protagonist, like a bound up guy in a hospital gown trying to hop his way into the light with like pink dildo diglets in the background.
I got a lot of Mr.
Floating
Meeseeks
footballs.
vibes from those guys. A little bit of Rick and Morty Meeseeks.
And you.
You
Yeah,
bet.
Yeah. A little interesting.
Oh, wait. Did he try hopping? Oh, he's trying.
Yeah. Yep. The game's too smart for me.
I loved it. That was like after Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. That was my favorite. This second favorite game of the day.
Yeah, I could see why you get those a little bit confused in terms of dev. I wouldn't worry about it too much, without a doubt. And then you wrapped up with the user words. So,
Yep.
par for the course. Cool. How much? What time? 2:42. We got to do the Crazy Dance questions of the week segment, but there was also some breaking news just now that
Epic
broke.
Games just bought Rocket League.
Yeah, that's so. So what does that mean?
Rocket League has been kicking ass on consoles. They also have like this pretty significant presence behind the scenes. They're still somehow relevant, even though they've been out for years, a lot more than other games, and
Yeah.
they're still under development too. So I mean, the only thing I can think of is they maybe want to make it a free Epic game.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's funny whenever Epic does something, I'm like, how are they looking to fuck Steam over with this? It's my first thought. But that it sold so many copies on Steam that they can't like rip it from the store. I mean, I guess they could, but that's going to alienate a lot of people. Zeke looks like he's out. I don't know what happened to him. Oh no, he's just reading something.
Yeah, I was reading it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they can't like rip it out from Steam. So I'm not. I get, yeah, maybe it's free if you just install their launchers. I don't know. Was there anything tied? Because I haven't read any of the tweets or anything like Co. There was no press release or anything like that. Huh.
There may have been. I didn't see it. I saw it from chat. So.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see what.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's actually on the Rocket League webpage. Painted Goblin just linked it. I want to see that.
Let me pull this up.
Thanks, Painted Goblin.
Yeah, thank you. We will read through this together. See what it says. Ignore that.
56,000 people playing Rocket League just on Steam right now.
I believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, the game's
That's
big,
cool.
man.
And not only that, but it's also huge on consoles because what was it? Sony was giving it away for free for a long time. It was
Sony,
super
yeah.
promoted. Tons of people got it that way.
Apparently
And then I
that
think even-
made that game popular. Is
It was
when
huge.
when it was released on Sony's PS Plus for free. Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Clandestine Wolf, no, we have not done Crazy Dan's questions yet today.
Nope. Yeah,
People are actually asking about this segment now. Dan, how does that make you feel?
It's a big deal. He's thinking about changing his name to The Question. His people are talking to me now. He's got a whole. It's a thing. It's a thing. I'm just seeing if they say anything here. We're still committed to providing Rocket League with frequent updates and have new features, new content, new ways to play the game for as long as you'll have us. In the long term, we expect to bring Rocket League to the Epic Game Store and to leverage out new relationships, grow the game in ways we couldn't do on our own before. We believe that bringing Rocket League to new audiences with more support is a win for everybody. Do you think they tie it into Fortnite at all? In any way? Do you think that they try to like have those two games have cross-pollination at all? Or do you think they can keep them completely separate somehow? Well, not somehow.
would they
They
do?
just... I don't know, like a Rocket League themed item or something like that. Like you get one of the cars in Fortnite.
Oh, now to be fair, Rocket League is huge about that kind of shit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you get so much flair in Rocket League now for everything. It's like I'm almost surprised there's some Fortnite stuff in there anyway. Before the Epic sale,
Yeah.
they do stuff with other devs all the time. So, yeah. All of a sudden, in my vision, I got like a Fortnite BR round and like people playing Rocket League zooming through the same map. Like. That'd be a thing. Put little guns on it. Rocket League BR. I'd play that.
There was a BR game out pretty recently where it was cars and you put guns on the cars and I forget the name of it. Chat might be able to help me out, but
Yeah, it was a real flash in the pan. I think even Sacker was playing it for a little bit.
yeah. Not
What was it
Wipeout.
called? It was Auto something, right?
Not my car? I think it's Not My Car. I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Huh.
Carmageddon, I wish, man.
I could totally see them doing
I would
something
play
like that.
Carmageddon BR. If the actual devs came back for like a victory lap with Carmageddon 20 years later. Oh, actually, not even that long. They remade it kind of recently, didn't they?
Yeah, it didn't do that well, I don't think.
Oh, man.
Someone at Zenith says if they release Rocket League for free on mobile with battle passes, they'll make millions. I could see Rocket League working potentially on mobile. If you have like one of those in-game thumb pad, D-pad things to move around, like it'd be pretty basic, but it could work maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, people play fucking Fortnite on their phones, so
Yeah, seriously.
yeah,
Good point.
it could work. Yeah, I'm curious to see what actually comes out of that, and again, how they fuck over Steam in some way. Because that's their whole thing, right? That's why they're doing
Oh, Pixel Chaos. That's too bad. The netcode for Not My Car is absolutely terrible. Nothing is client side, and servers are few and slow.
That sucks. Sounds like I wonder if they push that out to try to get like a big dev to try and support them.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Epic Games and Psyonix thing now that they're joining. And I guess they're probably working on like a Rocket League 3 at some point, right? So I bet you that
Rocket League 2?
Or well, I guess Rocket League in my mind is Rocket League 2 because the first game was the first Rocket like.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a remake kind of thing, right?
Yeah. That's unfair. Yeah, I guess Rocket League 2 would be the name of that or whatever the fuck they call it. The third game that they've made is maybe the best way to say.
Hold on. According to The Verge, Rocket League will not be available on Steam after it goes on Epic Games Store in late 2019.
There you go. I knew it. So fucking someone get the pitchforks. Because they're going
That
to
was
war.
tweeted by @Wario64, referencing The Verge. For anyone wanting to follow up on that.
Yeah, I'm going to. Oh, yeah.
No, for the record, I'm assuming that doesn't mean that they're going to remove it if you've bought it.
Yeah.
For
So
everyone freaking out about that. It's just like every other exclusive. If you have it on your system,
Yep.
yours. They're not going to like. Yeah. So
Yeah,
really, for everyone in chat right now, I'm guessing most of you already own it. It's been out for like, what, 5 years now?
Epic buys Rocket League developer will stop selling the game on Steam. That's the title right there.
Yeah.
We're not disclosed. Does it say?
I have a
And that means you also
if
have the
you
rest of
wanted
the year to
Rocket
buy it on
League-
Steam if you want it on Steam.
Right. Yeah. Just go buy it now. What was that?
Just go buy it right now. You're fine.
Yeah. What was
I
that?
have a
Zeke?
feeling if you wanted to buy Rocket League, you would have bought it. And if you're going to buy it when it's on Epic Store, it's because it's probably going to be tied with Fortnite shit.
Right. Or yeah,
Like they'll give you free stuff for one of the other games.
they'll bring it into their ecosystem for sure. Yeah. If anything, it's just more ammo for the people that are like waging war on the Epic Game Store. It was so funny during the Borderlands 3 thing earlier. It's like, not going to buy this no matter what they show. It's like, well, I guess I'll have to buy this on the Epic Game Store because it looks pretty good. Well, yeah, of course. Like, of course. That's how it's going to work. It's the whole point. So, yeah.
What about future DLC? Can a Steam owner get Epic DLC? That's all based on the different products. Some devs have said that they will support fully on Steam. Other devs have said they will not. So it's dev dependent. That's not like there's no blanket statement for that.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. All right, it's time for Crazy Dan's questions of the week. There were 3 questions this week.
Cool.
Last week, I forgot. The third question was off. It wasn't actually a question. He screwed up. But anyways, he got it right this week. All right, so first question. Crazy Dan asked, there are a lot of game companies these days that want their players to, quote, get hyped for the games they want to launch. Do you have a personal criteria that an upcoming game must meet before you give it any semblance of hype, or do you even get hyped anymore? I think it just has to be a game that I've been excited about or played before, or the developers have. Like, if Blizzard says they're going to announce a new game, I'd be pretty hyped to see what the fuck that is. Not necessarily hyped to play it, but just to see whatever the announcement is. Like, Blizzard still has some sense, even though of all the fuck ups this past year. They're still the developers of like, okay, I want to see what they're doing. So for me, I think it starts at like developer first. If they're announcing a big event or something like that, I'd be into it. I think that's my answer.
I was reading something. Can you read the question again, please?
Yeah. There are a lot of game companies these days that want their players to get hyped for the games they want to launch. Do you have a personal criteria for an upcoming game that they must meet, or before you give it any semblance of hype, or do you even get hyped anymore at all?
By the way, JP, for Crazy Dan's segment, we got to bring back that E3 thing where we can put questions on the screen while we answer them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I think the key word here is faith. And faith in either one of two things: a concept or a developer. That's what gets me hyped. If I have faith in a dev like CDPR, Larian Studios, Digital Extremes, then I'm going to be relatively excited for their product because I have faith that they're going to deliver something that's worth my money and something that's good. Also, every so often, a new IP will come out or a new game or something, and maybe it's just doing something really off the beaten path. And sometimes I'll have faith in the game mechanics or the concept. But these days, I hate to say it, like a lot of companies have proven that they aren't necessarily deserving of faith. And that has led to some very interesting situations. Like, for instance, if you would have asked 10-year-old me if I would have been hyped for Elder Scrolls 6, I would have said, of course I am. Elder Scrolls is amazing. But these days, I've completely lost faith in Bethesda. So now it's like, hey, what do you think of Fallout 5? What do you think of ES6? I go, God, I hope they don't screw it up. And my hype levels are almost non-existent. So it's faith, man. It's all about faith.
I would agree with that for sure. There are certain developers or people who are involved in games or could be involved in a game that I would definitely, it would up my hype level. And to a certain extent, like I'm a kind of a Devolver fanboy. Like I pretty much, when Devolver comes out with something, however, I will say that I like that Devolver produces shit that I don't like or don't care about. They're about, I would say about 70 to 80% win for me. But 20-25% of the games that they come out with, I don't really care for. So I know, like, when Devolver says, we got a new game, we're going to release it or publish it or whatever, because they're a publisher, not a developer for the most part. But when they get their hands on something, usually I will like it. But if I don't, I'm not like super let down because I know they're not like 100% win ratio for me. But that will hype it up for me if they're like, Devolver's got a new game to show you right now. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm excited to see it. Same with FromSoft. FromSoft is another one that's almost always a win, and I'm just like, all right, FromSoft, let's see what you got.
Well, and also, Zeke, it's kind of like with Devolver Digital, it's like you can have faith in the company and actually like the concept that they take so many chances that sometimes you get kind of a lemon. That's maybe not be for you, but you can still like the fact that they're delivering all these different options to you. Another thing I thought about during this is not only can devs and concepts have faith, but these days, the more we kind of exist in the gaming industry, the more we kind of via osmosis just learn about people we really like. So for instance, like Dying Light 2, I was pretty hyped for Dying Light 2. But then I heard Chris Avellone is working on the main story.
Sure.
And that's like, oh shit. Okay, now I'm really hyped for Dying Light 2. So, every so often you can get big names like Brian Fargo with Bard's Tale 4. And I'm sure everyone has like favorite designers, composers, maybe even graphics if you're into that kind of stuff. Where it's kind of like, yeah, if they worked on the project, I'll take a look at that. I can get behind this.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it feeds into
Kojima, absolutely.
Right.
Seen it, you win. I was waiting. It was like, who's going to be the first to say it? Who's going to be the first to suck that dick?
Well,
to be fair, I read it from chat, so I'm not taking the credit.
Well, Zenith.
Great example.
Zenith was the first one to say it. Yeah. I mean, a lot of that feeds into like marketing stuff, right? People in marketing know buzzwords or developer names that are big. So Sony, perfect example, is like they went and got Kojima after all the Konami bullshit. And like that was a big win for them because he's got obviously a huge shit ton of fans out there. And now he's attached to like the Sony brand. And now people are excited about whatever it is he's doing, which then makes them maybe get excited for other Sony products because he's on board with them. And so, yeah. Underneath it all, it's all a little bit marketing and kind of gross at the end of the day.
Talking about the marketing thing and interest and hype, sometimes there's also a big indicator for us older folks with nostalgia. Because I'll tell you this, pre-trailer, I think I was probably going to skip Mortal Kombat 11.
Sure, yeah.
And then post-trailer, when I heard that music and my arm started getting the tingles and I was like, oh my God, they're doing it. Not only did I play Mortal Kombat 11, I had a great time the whole time, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah. Yep.
And that last boss was a bitch.
Oh yeah, Did you beat her on? Did you see all the endings?
I beat her on normal.
Okay.
I beat her both times, first round on normal.
Okay. See, I beat her.
No, I did it.
Second time, you just punch. There's like a punch.
No,
thing.
I held forward and pressed A lots of times.
Oh, there's like a punch combo that makes it really easy. Apparently, I beat her on normal the first time, then went to easy and beat her the first, like very easy and just yeah. Anyways, doesn't matter. Fuck that final boss. I've watched Anthony Kongfan fight her on the hardest difficulty.
It's kind of funny. It was a bit full circle for me because I will. Did he actually beat it, by the way?
Yes, he did. He's a better man for it. Yeah.
But dude, my full circle is, I was like 10-year-old me at the Mortal Kombat 2 box arcade, sitting there doing my low kick down and low kick thing. And now here I am 20 years later, forward in A, getting through the hardest boss in the game.
Old tricks still work, man. They still work.
Damn right, dude.
To circle back to the question, I also think that you're starting to see more and more, and a good example as today is Borderlands or 2K really flew out all those influencers because people that watch those influencers on a daily basis will then get hyped because they get to play the game and they'll get more exposure through that. So at some point, it's all like marketing, and it depends on what buzzwords and what names you're excited about to get you hyped for games.
Hype echo,
What was that? You're quiet.
hype echo chamber.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The echo chamber is real, without a doubt. So that was the first question from Crazy Dan. The second question, is specifically for Zeke. Zeke, you're in the hot spot now. All right.
Great.
Dan says, "I've always envied how you've been able to travel out and about and create so many stories and meet so many people. If there was one solid life lesson that you could take away from all of your said travels, what would it be and why?"
It's a lesson for travel, but it's also a lesson for life. And I can't say it better than the Prophet Bill Hicks. It's a simple choice between fear and love. Like, do you fear going places? Do you fear meeting people? Do you fear a place that is foreign to you or doesn't speak your language or that kind of stuff? You can choose that. You can choose to be afraid of it and not do it, or you can choose to embrace it and love it and go and immerse yourself in it. Because if you bring joy with you where you go, everything is better and everything becomes a lot easier to manage and handle and that kind of thing. And people feel that radiating off of you. If you go to a place that doesn't speak a lick of English, being that's my language, my only language that I know and understand. But if I radiate happiness and joy, everybody is, their armor falls away a little bit. And they're more willing to help you, be patient with you, have fun with you, that enjoy our differences rather than let that separate us.
There you go. I don't know if me and Co can really add anything to that. Zeke kind of answered it all in one. I don't think we're gonna add it. Co, do you want to add anything? I don't.
The most I'd add would be like a subsection for those that are married, and it's similar in vein, also from a comic. Happy wife, happy life. And it should be happy significant other, happy life.
Yep. It's 2019, Co. Thank you. Thank you.
That road works both ways, first of all, and it is amazing advice.
It is. It is without a doubt. Is your wife standing? Was she in earshot of that? Because we can.
No.
Okay. All right. We'll make sure she gets the clip.
You know this is recorded, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
Someone
here's the
just
thing.
float her that clip, by the way.
No, it's not a bad thing. Like it's not something that I wouldn't want her to hear. You know.
I'm saying this will win you points. I'm saying this is a good thing. I'm not saying like
okay.
you done fucked up. That's not
In
what
that
I'm saying
case,
at all.
thank you. I need it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No problem. No problem.
just one real quick addendum onto me and traveling and all that stuff. I just want to say, like, I used to be completely petrified, like terrified of going any place that doesn't speak English as a first language, or terrified that when I got there, no one would speak English and that kind of thing. And I, like, every time I've been proven not wrong, that, so to speak, like, a lot of times they don't, but that I didn't need to be afraid. Like, I went there and I was like, oh God, they're not going to know what I'm saying. I can't communicate. It's always been like really cool. And one other like small note, everybody speaks cash.
And technology is changing a lot of that too. I mean, everyone speaks cash, without a doubt, will always ring true.
Oh, cash.
Yeah.
Yes. And that just means, like, if you want to get around, just look at the price and give them that amount of cash.
Yeah.
Totally thought you said ass.
Hey,
And I was like,
everybody
I
speaks
guess
ass.
everyone
Not
does,
everybody
but how
speaks
does that
ass.
pertain to you?
cash is the same as ass. It just doesn't have a C in it. You know what I'm saying?
I speak conversational ass.
Oh, God. The final question from Crazy Dan. for the week. I understand that burning out is a very real problem when it comes to any job out there. When you feel that way with streaming, how big of a time window do you allow yourself to have a break before you dive back into the grind, and how often does burnout occur? Multi-part question here.
A question that will be different for every single person too.
Right. Let me repeat the question. Yeah.
Yep.
When you feel that way with streaming, that is experiencing burnout, how big of a time window do you allow yourself to have a break before you dive back into the grind, and how often does burnout occur?
I'll go ahead. I'll go first.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to.
If I feel like I need a day off, I take a day off. And it usually, and sometimes it lasts for one day. Like I need one day off, and sometimes I need like 3 or 4 days off. The key is to forgive yourself. Is to allow yourself, because we're not working a job that we go to and we stock the shelves or load up gravel, like that kind of thing. Our job is entertainment, and that means we feel it necessary to be entertaining. And if, like, when I was working other jobs, I almost never called in sick, because I could go to those jobs and be in a shitty mood and still do my job.
Sure.
So my old IT job was.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
A lot of people do
And
that.
still do a decent job
Majority of
what I
people
was doing.
do that.
Yeah. But this job, if I go to work with a shitty attitude, it's going to turn people off. I'm going to get more and more annoyed by people asking me what's wrong, and I'm going to snap at people. I'm going to bite people's heads off for no good reason, because I'm mad at something else. And that's no good for anybody, and it's no good for me and my positive, my mental state. So I take a day off and I forgive myself for that day or 2 days.
Yeah, I think to hit on that more, I don't necessarily know if this is conveyed, but I feel that one of the hardest tweets to make that kind of gets glossed over and is kind of a running joke amongst a lot of content creators is the like, hey guys, sorry, I'm not going to be live for reasons XYZ. Those tweets fucking suck to make. Those are just the worst tweets of all time to make, because one, you're a broken record at some point, like, and that's what you feel when you make that tweet. And two, like, you want to be live. You don't want to disappoint anyone, especially people that want to watch you every single time.
Preach.
Yeah. So anytime I see a streamer see that, like, part of me rolls my eyes, and then I'm like, well, fuck, I've been there before. And oftentimes I'll message that person, be like, hey man, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. That might not mean much to a lot of other people, but for content creators, those tweets are the fucking worst, without a doubt. Cody, you have an answer for the question at large, or do you want to add on to what I said?
Well, for me, I mean, I'm in a pretty unique situation, because a lot of people like video games, but everyone has passions, things that are like bottomless pits that you can't get enough of. And I am lucky enough that gaming is one of those things for me. It's made being a streamer something that's really worked out. I will say though that there's no question that I structure what I do to counter it, because burnout is the kind of thing where anytime you're doing anything, you're working towards it. You're working towards potentially getting tired or not being as interested. You're desensitizing yourself to it, kind of, in a way. It's not going to have that same feeling that you did it the first time or something. So one of the things that I did, for instance, was I stopped streaming 16-hour days. When I changed my schedule, I give myself a lunch break. I play different games every day. I play a huge amount of different games in general. It's kind of learning your own limitations, learning about yourself, and learning what specifically triggers that kind of thing in you, and then doing everything you can to grow those times out, making that kind of thing a part of your life that is in front of you and you're managing, instead of something that is passively affecting you behind you. And doing that has made it so I've streamed 2,000 plus days almost every day, and I still get up every day and I love to do it. But I will say that, like, in the first 3 months, when I was doing like 12-hour, 16-hour days, and I didn't have a schedule, and I was sleeping and streaming, and that was it, so many times I would get up and I'd be directionless. I'd be like, oh, well, I guess I should be on. I don't really have a schedule. I don't need to be on, but I mean, I guess what am I going to play today? I need to play something. Like, it would, I wasn't managing it. So it was becoming an issue. And then when I did like the channel reinvent after 3 years, that's basically when the streak started. And that's when I was able to kind of make it more of a centerpiece. And it's been okay since then.
This is something I wanted to bring up last week, and I forgot to do it or didn't have time. What do you say to people who just boil what you did down into you have to stream forever? You have to stream all the time, every day. That's how you get success. Because a lot of people will look at that and go like 2,000 days in a row. That's the way to make this thing work for me. And people will kill themselves, like figuratively, to do that.
Oh,
what do you?
I'll tell you exactly
what is your response to that? Yeah.
The first 3 months, I tried to do what you're saying. I streamed 12 to 16-hour days every single day. I thought I could brute force Twitch and that I would magically be successful doing that. And that's why I almost quit. In fact, the last day that I did a 12-hour stream, I was playing my favorite game, Deus Ex. I started the stream, ended it 12 hours later, and had 36 less followers than when I began. And I'll never forget sitting there looking at the screen and being like, clearly this is not for me. Like, I guess Twitch streaming isn't my thing, because like I just worked my ass off for 3 months. I lost weight. I was streaming for so much. I was definitely letting my relationship suffer because it was all I was doing. Like, I gave everything I had to Twitch, and it completely destroyed me, essentially. And so what basically I had to do, and the whole reason that I have been able to stream for 2,000 days, it's kind of like what I was just talking about. You have to do it smart. I'll never forget the first time Donald Duck said, work smarter, not harder. And actually, I think it was Scrooge McDuck. And that is some of the best possible advice you can have on Twitch. Work smarter, not harder. You don't need to be on a streak to be successful. You just need to be in a great time. You need to pick the right games. You need to have a good schedule. You have to have a good grip on your community. You need to have features that plug in. You don't need to do a streak at all. There's plenty of streamers that are super successful that don't. And coming from somebody who tried to stream 10 plus hours every single day, it doesn't work. In fact, I've had huge amounts more success streaming 8 hours a day with an hour lunch than I did streaming 16-hour days. So it's all about working smarter, not harder. And a streak is just one of hundreds of components that, including having a giant team and an extremely supportive community, that have gotten me through the last 5 years. But no, if someone comes up to me and says, hey, I want to be like you, do I just have to stream every day? You absolutely don't. You don't even need to stream as much as me. You could stream half as much as me and do it a lot smarter than I'm doing it, and you'll be just as successful.
Yeah, and I also feel like the idea of a streak had more weight to it in terms of, if you think of like how to be successful at streaming, I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, streaming every single day for X many hours had weight to it that was more than it is now. I don't think streaming every single day is critical as it once was.
Not anymore.
It's changed a lot. I mean, it changes every single fucking day, to be honest.
It used to be like an axe where, if you just streamed for 24 hours, there were not enough people streaming. So you might make it into the top 10 just because you're on at a weird time with viewers, and that's cool. But these days, I mean, it's so saturated that you could literally, and I know this, unfortunately, you can stream 10 hours a day for years and never get noticed.
Right.
And it's like, at that point, you're just hurting yourself, especially if you're not managing your burnout, because then it's like a double whammy. It's it can be rough.
Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to what your brain and your body need. Because I can't function like that. I can't function on multiple days, like multiple weeks or whatever in a row. I can't do it. I need a day to mentally reset and physically reset. And that's what I know about myself. So just be aware of what you need mentally and physically.
Right. But also know your limitations. Just like Zeke said, dude, I may stream every day. You're not going to see me doing a 24-hour stream.
Well, that's the other thing. You're very structured, where a lot of other people aren't.
But it's like, yeah, I can stream 2,000 days, but by doing that, I lose out on things that other people could do to become successful in their own rights.
Right.
So it's not like it's not a plateau. It's just another tool in a toolbox. That's all that is. It's on the same level as everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
And if I may, one final thing. I had a fuck, marry, kill poll on my chat with Drop Frame,
Okay.
and overwhelmingly it was fuck me, marry Co, kill JP. Just wanted to put that out there.
To be fair, I make an excellent husband.
I was
And
a little
I'll
upset that
treat
no
you
one
right,
wanted to
baby
marry
girl.
me.
I mean, what's the winner there? I don't want to live with anyone in chat, so I'm glad they all killed me. You know what I'm saying?
That is the perfect JP response to being told that he wanted to be killed in that. And we need like a JP award.
That was, yeah. Straight from the heart, man. Straight from the heart.
I think more so, I just wanted to say people want to fuck me, that's all I really want. The point to take away from that.
I think we all got the answer that we wanted. I think ultimately.
Also, to be fair, Zeke's been over to my house. He has a huge penis.
It's freakish. It has an elbow.
It's been true. It's been true.
It's prehensile.
That's what they say.
I can hang from a tree.
Let's end the show on that. Let's just wrap it up. Not the show, not Zeke's dick, because it folds. I mean, you could really. Anyways. Yeah.
Dude, props.
Yeah.
That was good. That was really good, JP.
Go do some shout outs for us here at the end of the show.
Oh, it's me. Hi, everyone. My name is Ko. It's nice to see you. As always, thank you guys very much for watching. Huge thanks to JP and Zeke. It was a lot of fun watching Borderlands today and also talking shop with you guys, as it always is. My name is Ko Carnage. You can find me streaming every single day at 8 a.m. EDT, except this weekend, because I'm taking some time off to hang out with my family on Saturday and Sunday morning. But I will be on the afternoons of those days. You're going to be seeing Days Gone. We got a full day tomorrow with Days Gone and Pathfinder. We're up to cliffhangers in both games. So tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun. And then over the weekend, we're going to be finishing up Pathfinder. We're potentially going to be finishing up Days Gone. And then after Pathfinder, we return to Sekiro to wrap that game up. So I hope to see you as I rage for 6 hours, hopefully not, JP, we'll see, on the last boss, and go from there. So should be fun. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next week.
You didn't finish Sekiro?
I have not. Too many other things came out. I literally I'm in like the final road to the final boss, and I have him to do, and I've got the red fiery guy to do, and then I've got the last version of the owl guy to do. I don't even know if I'm going to do owl. That boss is insane.
I didn't do owl. Yeah, I did not.
Oh my god!
I didn't even know about him till.
I don't even think I got to the second phase once.
Yeah,
he may be the hardest boss in the game.
That's what a lot of
well, then
people
again, I
say.
haven't got these last two, so let's see. But yeah, that's kind of where we are.
Did you finish Zeke?
No, I never finished. But a larger point, we didn't talk about the Sonic trailer. God damn it!
I didn't see it yet. Good. We'll have to talk about it next.
You haven't seen it yet? Okay.
You got to watch
Go
that.
watch it. We'll talk about it next week. Oh, it's delicious. It's super awesome. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Man.
My chat is spamming. Don't watch it. Please don't. Just don't.
No, do it on your cast. Seriously, it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Okay.
God. Zeke, some shout outs.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching once again. My name is Ezekiel the Third. Well, first, thank you to Ko and JP, as always, for putting up with me and having me on this show as the stuttery, loud voice of nothing. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all at or / Ezekiel_III. I will be finishing Days Gone because with 2,500 votes in, 53% of the people on Twitter have said finish the game. So cool. I'm excited. I want to finish it. I don't have anything really lined up that I'm super excited about, so I'm glad to go back to it. So that's what's happening tomorrow at noon Pacific. However, in just 45 minutes from now, I will be on twitch.tv/AbleStory playing Nocturne, the Unknown Army 2nd Edition tabletop game. If you guys were here and saw the one shot that Pumpkinberry put on, that JP put on as well, 15 floors, right?
15.
Yep. If you saw that, it's the same universe, same GM, different players. But this is an ongoing thing, and I don't know how many episodes, but I think we're up to like 10 or something, maybe 12. But yeah, that's happening in 45 minutes on twitch.tv/tablestory, or I'll catch you tomorrow at noon Pacific for Days Gone.
Cool. All right, that's it for Drop Frames. We will be back next week with something. We still have a lot to talk about that's just happened in the past 2 or 3 weeks that we haven't talked about yet. So Probably we'll be playing catch up next week. We didn't plan for this Borderlands 3 thing to happen today. It just kind of happened right when the show started. So we'll be talking about everything else that we've been playing the past month or so, probably next week, and then whatever else is new. So we'll see you guys then for more next week. We're out. Bye-bye.